Hey, Brandon, Arran, thanks for giving up your time to speak to us. I guess we're at the part of the season which is both kind of bittersweet in that the offering contracts to scholars, but also we'll have to kind of say goodbye to a few at the end of this season. So, I mean, how is that process for you guys?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, all of the lads have been a credit to themselves and their families. They've worked incredibly hard across their journey at the academy. It's a real tough process, especially when, like Aaron and I have known them for such a long period of time of their life. To award, if you like, contracts to the lads has been fantastic. But also to say goodbye to some of them is going to be really, like you said, bittersweet. But also, it's the right thing for them. It's the right thing for their next step in their journey. So we're really proud of what they're going to go on to achieve in life, and giving them hopefully the tools to be able to be successful in their next steps.
And how do you support the guys that we are going to say goodbye to in the next couple of months?
So we do lots of clips with them. We provide loads of analysis, loads of stats for them to go on and utilise those in their next footballing steps as well as their education. So we've got lots of support with the player care team and the education team to provide them with the right information first and foremost, and where they want to get to in terms of their long term development of their career, as well as any football information that they might need based off what they've done with us and what they might need in the future. We'll reference for them, and we'll provide them with an honest overview of how they've been in their scholarship and their time within the academy.
Part of the apprentice over 2 years, they have to do a massive part of work on in terms of their personal development as well as their football development. So they'll start looking at potential exit routes or other options beyond football well before they get a decision. And so we've found that certainly this year the lads probably all started to think about what they might be doing, and that's some fantastic work that likes of Josh Can and Dan, who are player care and education team, start working with those boys and saying, okay, is it university you're interested in after football? Is it potentially scholarships in America, which one of the lads has managed to kind of attain, and another one is looking at. Another's already been accepted at Marjon to do a physiotherapy degree. So we've got some really bright lads, fantastic young men that are going to be really successful. And that journey started probably right from the start of their academy journey, but it really starts to kind of we clarify things once they start full time with us. So I think sometimes people think it's just football, but certainly those under 17s and 18s that are with us most, six days a week. They'll spend time at college. They'll spend time here with our staff, looking at what their future's going to be, both on and off the pitch. And I think all of those boys will still continue to play football at a really good level. And who's to say, just because we haven't offered them a contract doesn't mean they can't get something elsewhere. We've seen it before a number of times, and we've got, like Brad said, fantastic. We've got 8 lads signed on pro contracts, but we've also got 3 lads there that are going to do really, really well. We're excited to see kind of how far they go with their football and off-pitch development as well.
In terms of numbers, that's probably one of the highest success rates that we've had for many years now. So I guess for you guys, that shows everything's going on the right path, and Gary must be impressed with the kind of quality of player that we've got in the academy.
So I think it's the most ever. So I remember the group that came through a few years ago now with Jamie Reid, Jordan Moore Taylor, some lads that are playing kind of now for like Tauntons and Tibbins, Jake Wonnells, Ollie Knowles. We got 7 that year. So that was the most. I remember at the time. I can't remember what role I was in, but I remember that we were all really excited. We had seven pros. So to have 8 from one year group's fantastic, and you get stronger age groups. So we're confident that across the academy we've got some really high potential players across all ages. But you do tend to get certain age groups that are stronger and have more players that have potentially got that higher ceiling. And this group for a while we've known. I mean we work with them as under 10s. Again, I worked with them again at under 12s, and Brad's had a lot of impact with them this year, overseeing the under 18s when he was covering. And they've always been strong. They kind of won the EFL Floodlit Cup. They were under 16s at the time because of COVID, but it was the under 15s competition. So to win a national competition, you've got a strong group. And then since that point, we've added 2 additional players, Pedro and Amir. So yes, it is a really good group, and you get that from time to time. But Yeah, I think Gary's been really supportive.
Yeah.
We're also keen to get back to having a bit of a young pro group. So the last few years, with the likes of Alfie Pond, Ben Cresene, Jay Stansfield moving on to Premier League clubs at 16, 17, and 18 for Alfie, that meant that young pro group's kind of dwindled a little bit. So this gives us a really good chance to kind of get that going again, have some advanced sessions for those boys that can also push some of the under-18s. And then with loan moves or potential first team exposure, depending on how well the boys do, yeah, it's exciting times.
Yeah, really exciting. And like you said, Gary's been absolutely brilliant with the academy. He's been fantastic in terms of his dialogue of what he perceives to be success for the boys. So we've been really clear on what the boys have been expected of when they've been training with them, and the type of behaviours that he likes from the players. And then to have this young pro group will be hopefully enhancing those opportunities to get more success for them and bridge the gap further. Hopefully they're ready for the first team and beyond at some point in the near future, but if they're not, we'll continue to help them and enhance their development through loan opportunities and training every day with the pros and also a young pros age group. So yeah, really exciting times. He said the group, like Pugh said, the group's been together such a long time and they're a fantastic group, and we're really excited to provide this opportunity, and we're really grateful of Gary's support within that as well, because ultimately it comes down to him as well as our recommendations, but he has to sanction it so they move into that sort of bracket of players where he'll be looking at. So internally grateful for the opportunities that the football club have provided since Tiz, Matt and now Gary, so we're delighted that is continuing under Gary, and really thankful that we'll be able to keep on doing that.
Yeah, it's also great to have Kev obviously in the first team office. So you know he's worked with the academy initially when he came here, knows exactly what we're trying to do, and kind of bridges that gap, and kind of has been really supportive as well, and kind of making sure that we're all working together. So I think Gary's been keen to do that from day one anyway, but Kev's been a really important link in that, and yeah, we love having that link with a member of staff that's worked in the academy and still has a real interest in what we're doing. So that's an important part of what happens as well.
I guess we can't look past the fact that the last 10 years we've been creating players for a League Two team, but now the pressure's on even more because they're going into a League One team and environment. So I guess that's testament that these guys have been signed on with that in mind, that that's what their ultimate aim is, to get into the squad. Yeah,
but also I think it's worth highlighting that since Simon Hayward done a fantastic job at this academy, and Arran, who's taken it on board, has been unbelievable, by the way. Our academy, we always have in our minds is that we want to try and create players for the Champions League. Now we're very clear that Exeter City are probably not going to be in the Champions League, hopefully one day, but probably unlikely. But we have to try and provide a programme that facilitates the development of the lads to try and get there. Thankfully, we've had someone represent that's come through the academy in the Champions League and for England and Wales, so very proud of that achievement, but we have to ensure that we maintain that level of work ethic to ensure that we provide the best possible experiences for the kids to be able to maximise their development, and hopefully that ends up at the highest level. And if we fall short, hopefully they'll be good enough for League One now, but also having in mind that the styles are different now, and ensuring that we are at this end that we're talking about in particular today, is that we're giving them the right information to be able to handle League One football, for sure.
The thing is as well with we keep track of appearances as well, so appearances from all of our graduates for the first team here, but also in football in general. And we were looking at this the other day, and last time we were in League One for a 3-year period, the numbers of academy graduates that made appearances for the first team was significantly lower. So it shows that there was a step up, and obviously there's more pressure on. I think at the time was Tiz, the management, to get results in a tougher league. So, but by the third year in League One, the number of players playing had doubled from year one. So in League One, so we're certainly hopeful that we can kind of progress, and we've had a really good start this year because we've had most weeks we've had 8 players in the squad or 5 in the starting lineup. So we've made a really good start. We're aware that next year we might need to kind of have a few of the younger lads getting an opportunity, because the likes of Jay, who's been here and been fantastic this season, is going to be back at Fulham. So these are things that are in our mind. But it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that we want to kind of really push on and kind of take on. And also the academy is now even more established than last time we were in League One. So the work we've been doing and kind of progressing and trying to kind of build up should hopefully cater for those lads to be able to come in and impress. And again, we were looking at examples. So Sonny playing at 18 in the first team is massive in League One, and Ed's made appearances in League One this year as well. So even some of the most successful players we've had at the academy in the past maybe came into the first team a little bit later. Ollie Watkins is a great example. And that's not to say that we're guaranteed these boys are going to get to the Premier League, but they're in a really good position, and if they keep working hard, keep developing the areas of their game they need to, believing in themselves, there's opportunities for them to progress as well. So we're in a good spot, but we're going to keep working hard to kind of ensure that all the boys are getting the best opportunities to get to that level.
And as you say, a lot of this group has been involved with the first team, be it training, Pavillon Straker in League One. Sonny scored his first goal in League One, which is a great achievement at such a young age. And Pedro has had minutes in League One in recent games. I think he's quite an interesting one to look at, because obviously his journey is a lot different to the rest of the academy, in that he came to us quite late, didn't he? So I guess that also shows, there's no bias to anyone who's in the academy as well, and it's just about developing people in the way that fits them.
So the academy, obviously, we go from with the pre-academy 7s and 8s, academy starts at 9s, and then for this football club, whilst we do go to 21s, that they kind of go into the first team at the end of under 18s. But we've had a mixture of players that we would class as academy graduates, and it's fantastic when you see a large number of this group that have been with us since under 7s, 8s that have now got pro contracts. But what's equally pleasing for us is when you bring a player in a bit later in the journey. Czech is a fantastic example, a player that was released at another club, had the opportunity to come here and work with us, show fantastic resilience and ability, and has developed at this football club, and is now a regular first team member of the squad. And Pedro hopefully is going to be following in those footsteps. He's got so much talent, loads of personality. I think even on Tuesday I was really impressed by when he came on, the personality he was showing, to try and make something happen and pick people up and show that energy, and he's got quality as well. So we're really pleased with Pedro, and he's been a really talented player since he's joined us, and he's really worked hard to work on some of the things that we want him to as well, to kind of get his mind even more focused on areas that he can control. He's done really well, and we're really pleased with his progress, and hopefully that will continue to develop as well. So that for us, from 7's fantastic, but equally a 16, 17-year-old coming in is equally as pleasing.
Yeah, we'll help support whatever age. We'll certainly work as hard as we can to ensure that they're given the right information, the right level of support, the right level of care to maintain their goals, and hopefully they achieve them with us at this football club. And Pedro and Czech in particular have been unbelievable examples of that, where they've really bought in and had real intrinsic drive to become better with the help of the coaching staff and the player care team, etc., to ensure that we're maximising what they want to achieve. And like Pugh said, Pedro is a fantastic character, fantastic young man, and hopefully he goes to achieve even greater things. But he's staying humble, and he's staying driven, and he's really, really working hard. So extremely pleased for him, extremely pleased.
I guess it's really good that they're so integrated with the first team, and especially with the way this new building is and how it's set up and everything, that they're ready for that environment already, aren't they? Yeah,
so the new building and the facility is fantastic, first and foremost. Don't have to sit here in 3 coats and be absolutely freezing. But it's definitely enhancing and enriching the organic collaboration that needs to take place to be successful. With how close everyone is together in terms of the academy and the first team. So crossing paths and discussing football even over lunch, it is massive and very underrated. So we're really pleased that again the football club have reinvested into the academy and the first team infrastructure, because it will lead us in great stead for the future to continue hopefully providing kids with opportunity first and foremost into our first team. The opportunity is going to be there, but they obviously need to take it. So yeah, having this facility is absolutely unbelievable, and the kids then are more familiar with the first team, and it doesn't become such a surprise when you cross the bridge, if you like, from the academy building to the first team building. Although we're on one site, it's always been fairly smooth, but it is uncomfortable, and they need to have uncomfortable excitement really when they come over to this building.
Another really important part of their development, I guess, is that time they spend out on loan at some of our, local non-league teams as well. I mean, I guess that's probably a bit of a culture shock for some of them, isn't it? Going into that environment and playing against men, physical men as well. And I guess they learn a lot from that they can bring back with them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think if you look at pretty much all the lads that have had a really positive career at Exeter within the first team or even that have gone beyond, have experienced that. So, Ollie at Western, you had Josh Key a couple of years at Tiverton, Harry Kite, Dorchester, Taunton, Joel went Taunton, Western. So these clubs in the southwest have been fantastic in helping us get players an opportunity to play men's football at a young age. And once again this season we've been really pleased with a number of clubs, Plymouth Parkway, Tiverton, Weymouth had one of our players over in the season, even teams such as Wellington, Saltash. So I don't know if I've forgotten someone, if I have, apologies, but no, the local managers are fantastic with us. The boys get a great opportunity to go and play football. Some of the pitches they'll play on will be okay, some will be really poor, so that's a different challenge for them. Like you say, moving into a change room we don't really know many players, very similar to moving into a change room with the first team, where all of a sudden you're trying to adapt and trying to kind of find yourself within that environment, and then you've got to take it onto the pitch and be able to deal with that physical part of the game, because you look at professional football, whether it's League 2, League 1, I think the quality has been really evident. It's gone up this year in League 1, but there's still very physical elements to the games, and there's been a few games that have been massive physical tests. Tuesday, for example, I thought that Sonny started well in the first half. I thought second half, that physical battle became really difficult. He's playing against Curtis Davis, who's played Premier League for years. So, I mean, what an experience for him, and he'll take loads from that and he'll get a bit better off the back of it. But yeah, having played at Bath for a number of games in the Conference South this year, that's going to allow him to have a bit of experience before he stepped onto the pitch for the first team. So, yeah, it's a massive part of the programme. Yeah. We'll definitely carry on with that next season and try and get the boys playing at the highest level where they will play. That's important, and not just be given token gestures of playing. They've got to earn that, but have opportunities where clubs will give them a chance and believe in them. So
that's the important bit. Is it's just because they're coming from our football club that there's no rite of passage to play at the loan club. They have to go there and they have to work hard and they have to show something. They have to show an edge to their game, which is what we try and reiterate when they're with us as well. Is like, what's going to get you into a team? What's your selectable attribute moving forwards? And how often can you show that, as well as being competent across all areas of the game? That's then going to develop them into being ready to play on Gary's pitch, hopefully at St James Park. So those experiences are invaluable for us, and we'll hopefully have some more games at the academy next year for that age group of players as well, just to enrich their games programme across the season even more. And like Pugh said, I'm very thankful for all the loan managers that have put faith in our young boys, have provided the opportunity, because they've been fantastic. They've been very collaborative, very communicative as well, in terms of letting us know how they're getting on, and we've been out to watch them as well, and they've been very hospitable with us. So extremely grateful, and we hopefully can remain and build upon those relationships moving forward.
I guess just to finish up as well, I mean, what sense of pride do you and the club get when you see the likes of, Sonny scoring his first goal, or Archie or Alex making 100, 200 appearances with the first team, or the extremes of, Ollie Watkins turning out for England? What does that mean to you guys?
This guy's been here for 17 years, is it?
Something like that, yeah.
He's the the best human being I've ever met, and he deserves so much credit for a lot of things that happen at this football club. It fills me with immense pride seeing it, having been here for 9 seasons, especially seeing Sonny score his goal. He's one of the first age groups I worked with, and seen him come right through. But I'll let you go on that one, because you deserve that one for sure.
Well, first of all, thanks, brother. I think it's why we do it, and whenever we're looking at kind of what staff we bring in, and when they come in, the first message we're trying to kind of give to those new staff is, like, why are you here? We're here because we want to help these players to reach their dreams. And unfortunately, it doesn't happen for everyone, as we kind of talked at the start. But when you see those boys kind of playing at first team for Exeter, Premier League, international, it's exciting. It gives you a buzz, and you just feel so proud of it. But equally, if we kind of go right back to the start, and you know, the likes of Alfie Clark, Andrew Sowden, George Spencer, we're so proud of what they've done as well. That, you know, throughout their time with us, and I'm delighted they're going to be moving on to scholarships in America. They're going to be going to do physiotherapy degrees. They've got opportunities at other pro clubs to try and continue their journey. So I think if a player leaves Exeter with fond memories and thinks they've looked after us, they've cared about us as people, and they've helped us be better football players, then we've done our job. And I think we try our best to do that every time. You know, we won't get it perfect every single time, but we always try our very best, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. So, and that's every member of staff we've got, and that's every member of staff, not just currently, but we've had over the last 15, 20 years. It's been a long project, and it's...
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out. There's been some very influential staff that have been here, the likes of Dan Green, Chad Gribble, Matt Taylor, Wayne Carlisle, that have been around this football club for a long period of time, and Simon Hayward as well, that have been absolutely influential as part of the academy and its evolution, and we're hopefully trying to stay on that trajectory and hopefully evolve it and continue the good work that's happened, and hopefully create more experiences for the lads that are coming through, to make sure that they look back on their time at the academy as being a positive one, and hopefully get opportunity. Well, they certainly will get opportunity, but hopefully take the opportunity.
I think we also can't forget the role the club plays. You know, the fact that and from my perspective, I think Julian's been the biggest driver in this for as long as the academy's been running. But they trust the academy, they believe in the academy, and we wouldn't have had half the success without that kind of belief and ethos in, let's give young players a chance, and let's have players on the pitch that the fans can be proud of, and say that they are one of our own, which we hear from regularly being chanted from the stand. So yeah, the role that the club and Julian has played as well it just can't be underestimated. So no, we're very, very grateful. Yep. Love what we do, and long may it continue. So.